The rumor didn't start with a clear photo or a full voiceover, but a blurry moment shared on an anonymous account was enough to stir the community. In the leaked video, a low male voice resembling Sam's rang out. The words were unclear, but there was a slight laugh mixed in, and then a whisper so low that only the last few syllables could be heard. "Miss you too." No one saw the person on the other end of the line, but a few seconds later, someone managed to slow down and guess the silhouette of Caitriona sitting by the window, chin resting on her hand, unable to hide her smile. It was unclear whether it was her or not, but social media didn't need to be certain to conclude. Within the crew, everything was going on as usual, until they accidentally bumped into each other in the makeup room the next morning. Sam walked in first, his jacket still covered in dew. Caitriona was already sitting, her hair tied up, her hands flipping through the script, but her eyes hadn't read a single line. When she saw him, she only raised her eyebrows slightly. "Did you make social media lose sleep again last night?" He replied calmly, as if it had nothing to do with it. "I don't even know what I said wrong. Did I accidentally call someone by the wrong name?" Sam bowed her head slightly, pretending to search for something on her phone, but the corners of her lips lifted slightly. "If it were me, would I have to deny it?" There was no one else but them, but the atmosphere felt like someone was listening near the door. Caitriona didn't answer, just took a deep breath and changed the subject, but her hand unconsciously twisted the silver ring on her finger. Sam saw everything, but chose to remain silent. When it was time to shoot, the outdoor scene required them to sit close together on the old wooden chair next to the lake. The director was still adjusting the camera, so he hadn't started shooting yet, but Sam just looked down at the water and said softly, as if only Caitriona could hear, "If you're bothered, just say it, I'll keep quiet. Silence doesn't necessarily make the situation better. So what do you want me to do? Just be natural like before." The answer was light but not decisive. Sam understood. After a few seconds of silence, he suddenly looked over, smiled lowly. "Then I'll call you again tonight, remember to turn off the mic this time." She didn't turn around, just laughed in her throat. "Last time you were the one who forgot." The scene began. In the script, Sam was supposed to pull her closer, pretend to whisper something before delivering the line. The camera panned slowly, not recording this part, but the cameraman looked up just in time when his lips were only a few centimeters from her ear. Not knowing what Sam said, he only saw Caitriona's eyes slightly close, and then she laughed. The director shouted, "Cut," but no one asked to film again because the expression was so real. During the break, they were not together but always felt like the other person was somewhere in sight. Sam's phone vibrated with a short message without a saved name. "Don't joke too much. People are watching." He responded with just a smiley face, then turned off the screen. That night, when the whole crew returned to the hotel, the technical team suddenly discovered a behind-the-scenes video that the auxiliary camera had mistakenly recorded on the hard drive. It wasn't a scene, just a hidden angle behind Sam as he stood against the wall, head down, listening to the phone again. His shadow covered half the frame, but the sound was clear enough to hear Caitriona say, "What if someone else heard?" "Well, I said I was practicing my lines." "What about yesterday?" "What line?" "Miss you too." This time I spoke more quietly. No one on the team leaked the clip, but one curious person was enough to start a new wave. Finally, just before going to bed, Caitriona sent him 2 words. "Be careful." Sam texted back only one sentence that took her the whole evening trying not to think. "I'm only careful with what I want to keep." And this time, no one knew but them. Sam's last text message kept replaying in Caitriona's mind all night. She tried to sleep, but only when she turned off her phone did the darkness subside. The next morning, everything seemed normal on the surface, but there was a kind of silence that no one called out. The filming schedule had changed abruptly because of bad weather. An interior scene had been moved up early, the crew had announced it in a hurry, so many people had not had time to prepare. Caitriona arrived at the set 20 minutes before the call, thinking she was the first. But when she opened the dressing room door, she caught Sam standing in front of the mirror, fixing her collar. He glanced over, his voice low as if he had been waiting. "I came earlier than usual. Because I couldn't sleep again." "Because of the text message?" She didn't deny it, just walked to the dressing table and put down her bag. "Are you going to let things be or continue testing other people's nerves?" Sam didn't turn around, but there was something in his eyes in the mirror that couldn't be hidden. If they're thinking something, then silence won't help. "You mean, let them guess?" "You mean, you don't owe me any explanation." Before she could reply, there was a knock on the door. Katie, the studio assistant, poked her head in, a little hesitant. "Sorry, the director changed the call time, there's only 15 minutes left." "Oh, yesterday, that leaked video, everyone saw it." No one said anything more, but the assistant's eyes when she saw the two people standing in the same room needed no explanation. On set, no one asked openly, but a few glances lingered longer than usual. The makeup artist whispered to the cameraman, the scriptwriter frowned every time they happened to be standing near them. But strangely, no one showed any sarcasm, instead, there was a cautious curiosity, as if everyone was observing. During the lunch break, the crew was stuck in the studio because of heavy rain. The shuttle was delayed, everyone dispersed to the waiting rooms. Caitriona brought the script, looking for a quiet corner, but when she entered the old prop room, she stopped. Sam was there. For some reason, the automatic door closed softly behind her. The sound of rain pounding on the corrugated iron roof completely isolated the space from the outside. She stood still for a few seconds. "Are you hiding?" "No, I'm just avoiding being overheard." "Do you think anyone is listening on purpose?" Sam looked straight ahead, not avoiding. The recording from the other day didn't just fall into someone's hands. The atmosphere was heavy. Caitriona sat down on the wooden chair next to the prop rack, placing the paper on her lap. Sam leaned lightly on the shelf behind her, arms crossed over her chest. There was only a few steps between them, but no one moved forward or backward. "What if things get out of control?" she asked. "Then I'll be the one to catch it first." "What about you?" "You don't need to stand in the way. I'm not heartless." She bowed her head slightly, her hair falling down to cover half her face. Sam was silent for a few beats before stepping closer, not touching but enough for only she to hear his voice. "What you said last time, I still keep it the same." It wasn't a confession, but it didn't sound like a joke. No one knew if there was a backup camera in the room, so that moment hovered between the truth and the possibility of someone accidentally recording it. Suddenly, the sound of a walkie-talkie rang out from the hallway, accompanied by someone calling. "Sam, Kate, where are you two? The director needs to rehearse the lines before the next scene." Sam smiled lightly, took a step back but couldn't hide her soft and intentional gaze. "Let's act again," she replied, her voice so soft it was unclear whether it was breathing or speaking. "We haven't acted for a while." When they opened the door, Katie stood at the end of the hallway, phone in hand but the screen was off. She didn't ask anything, just smiled halfway. "You two are just in time." No one knew what that meant, but the feeling of just in time wasn't necessarily about the filming schedule. That night, no text messages were sent. But the silence alone was enough to make things less simple than before.